Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Cloud and Data with Kaushik. So today we are going to discuss the connectivity with MySQL and Python. And also in this demo we are going to perform some MySQL queries into the Python environment. Okay, so I have Google Colab and I have the Python. Inside my Google Colab, I can write some codes of Python and execute the MySQL queries. So this can be useful for your Python projects. So that's the reason I thought if I can help some kind of experimental demo, so it can be helpful to your next project. That's the reason we come with this demo. So without any delay, let's get started. So first, we are going to, I already added some overview of MySQL Workbench, how you can install, how you can add in your queries over there. That I have already discussed. So if you're not familiar with that in my playlist, so this is my playlist. In this playlist, you can go this MySQL hands-on training. In this playlist, you will go and you will connect all of the basic ideas of your MySQL and your MySQL Workbench that I also have created the MySQL Server installation part. So you can get idea over there. So MySQL Workbench installation I already discussed in my video, and this link I definitely be added in your description box of this session. So just follow these videos so you can get idea about the MySQL Workbench, how you can connect, how you can write your queries. So these 6 videos are there, so you can get some ideas over there. Definitely, you can get the ideas. And let's move to the Colab environment where I have to connect with the MySQL queries over there. I can how we can install the MySQL in the Colab environment with the Python, some kind of installation that you have to pre-build it. You have to edit this installation part, and then it might be starting from your basic queries over there, the Python, right? So without any delay, let's get started with our Colab environment. So I already opened the Google Colab environment. You can see. So here I'm writing the Python and MySQL connectivity, right? Python, MySQL connectivity, MySQL data. So if you're not familiar with the Colab, I have also added some videos. So I'm also seeing how to install the Colab, how to collaborate in the Google Colab in other data science tools that can be helpful to your projects. So you can go in this, I think this is a data science virtual internship. So this the in this play box, you will get the first video link where you can configure your Python in different environments. That video I've already shared with you. So this definitely I will add this link to my description box so you can get the ideas that are different kinds of environment, how you can add your Python, how you can configure and how you can run your all the codes and all the necessary details, right? So I will add this link to your description box. That's not an issue. And without any delay, let's get started with that Python with the MySQL demo, right? So very first thing that we have to know, first you have to connect your VM in that this is a front end, right? You have to write some code, but this code somewhere goes and execute and then process, right? So you have to connect. So you can see I'm connecting that backend of that Google Colab. So it will be connected. So it's connecting now. When it will be done, then it will show the connected. And after that, I can write some codes, I can write some script, and I can execute that script, and that will be executing. And then you can see that you can get the RAM and disk over there when it will provision your VM, right? So you can see the Python 3 Google computing in backend and your RAM. So all the informations you will get from here if you explore these things. So I already discussed that how we can explore all the things in that session, right? So I'll add this link to your description box so you can definitely get the idea over there. Now we can start that configure your MySQL. First, you have to install the MySQL connector Python, right? So I'm writing this line of code and also that some comment so you can relate in future. Configure MySQL with pip. Okay, so pip is the installation package in the Python. So anything you want to install in the Python environment with the Python, right, with the help of Python framework, then obviously that language, the Python language, then you will definitely use you have to use the pip. If you want to use that different kind of environment, like you are working in the JavaScript one, then obviously the npm is that you have to install all the things in the npm node modules package manager. Right here we are using the pip. So first line of code that is you have to write pip install MySQL connector and your Python. So this is the first line you have to add the MySQL connector. So any connectivity you have to first configure, right, in your environment in the Google Colab. So very first thing that you have to connect your this MySQL connector by just execute the cell. So you can see that kind of dependencies they are gathered in one inside the environment and installing the connected package. So there are some kind of package they have to install, and last message is showing that successfully installed the MySQL connector Python 8.2.0. So that means you don't need to worry about others things. So you have installed that connectivity. But next, you have to setting up your MySQL and Google Colab. So next line, I'm also adding the comment so you can relate with that. So setting up MySQL on Google Colab. Okay. So now I have to install this. Write apt-get -y install MySQL server. This is the comment. So you have to install the MySQL server. To just explore and execute these things. So you can see your MySQL server will be installed in Python environment, and this is the things. So you have to wait a little bit, and then your setting will be configured. The setting will be configured. Sorry for my voice. So I think it's going to installation part is going on. So your installation is going on. So you have to wait some few minutes, and then everything will be up and ready. And then we can go and explore some codes over there in the Python environment. Everything I will do means your MySQL queries, everything I can write in the Python over here. So it can be helpful to your projects. And that is the reason I thought I should bring this kind of session in front of you. So I hope I'm audible to all of you, and if you have any doubts, please let me know. So I can clear your doubts. Now you have to start your MySQL server. So you have to start your MySQL server. So starting the MySQL server. You can write service. You have to start the service MySQL start. Okay. Just explore these things and execute. You can see so MySQL is started, right? Now, so optionally, you have to means we have uh, any connection, right? If any connection with the MySQL, it requires the username and password, right? So this command is optional, but I thought it can be used. So adding your password uh, over that, because the root password is a by default of MySQL, right? So you can use the root at the rate of localhost. So I can alter the user and I will add some password uh, over there. So after that we can run the code. So your password is required. Okay. So let me try on this thing. So you can write. First, we have to try to connect. What will be the option will come? Then we can explore this password part. If it will, I will definitely add these things, but before that, I can add that MySQL connector. Okay, so you have to import MySQL dot connector and then create your connection. Now we can create a connection to the MySQL server. Okay. So what is required for connectivity? You have to create like you have to require MySQL dot connector. You have to import. So first do one thing. Sorry. So you can first have to import this. First have to see that import is working or not. Yeah. So there is no issue for import your MySQL connector. Next, we have to write the connectivity code. So if you write MySQL dot connector, MySQL.connector dot connect, and you have to provide your username like user, your root. So you can configure your user as many users you can want, that you can use that. So by default, I'm using the user is root because my intention is that writing the MySQL code over there. So you can configure any user and you can add the username and password is also root, and host is your localhost. Okay. And then we have to set one variable like con in this case, and you put connect. You can see that one issue is coming. So root localhost access denied, right? So that's the reason I am going to use these things. So like secure your MySQL installation with that. Right? You can write MySQL minus P, and you can write alter your user. So in this case, my user is what? Root at the rate of localhost, right? And identified with identified with your MySQL. Now we have to add this line. So you can see that this is a comment. So you have to add. So MySQL altered user identified users, and you have to add this comment. So installing part will be there, and you can add. Okay, your user, you can set your user, and now you can run this. So your connectivity is done, right? And create cursor object. So once you have successfully connected your MySQL part, MySQL from the Python, so we have to interact. How we can interact with the MySQL server from Python? So we need to require the cursor. So we require some. We have to create one cursor to interact with the MySQL server. So I can write create a cursor to interact with the MySQL server. Okay, so your connectivity is done. So you can see there is no error and no issues are coming. You have connected your MySQL with the by default username and password, and now I have to add the cursor, and that is your con.cursor. Okay, and you can write print my cursor is initialized. Okay, so let's run and let's see that is there any issue or not. Okay, so your cursor is initialized, so there is no issues, and then we can write the queries, right? So this is the things, this is the predefined thing before writing your queries and connecting queries over there. So you have to establish this kind of settings, and then we can write the code. This 5 or 6 line of codes you have to execute, and then you will be able to write your MySQL that query in the Python, right? Now we have to create your database first. Before writing, creating the tables, or the very first thing that you have to create your database. So I'm writing the code. So create a new database named any name you can add a name that is learning MySQL. Okay, any name. This is a database name that I'm going to add. You have to everything from now. Any queries, cursor will be handled. Okay. Cursor will handle all the things because connection and connect dot cursor, you have established the connectivity with that Python and MySQL. Then your cursor object is created, and with the help of cursor, we can execute each and everything. Okay, if you write the cursor, and if you see that it's a MySQL connector cursor. Okay, so see MySQL instance. So this is a cursor, and we can write and we can execute. First, execute. You can write execute. So you can see this is the by default command is there. So you have to execute this. Okay. So to execute that, so you have to write the MySQL command. Command is same. There is no difference here. But how we can establish this connectivity, that we can see. So you can write create database. Okay. If not exists, and you have to provide the database name. So in my case, the database name is Mysql. Okay, learning Mysql. Now just execute this thing. There is no issue. So I have connected, means I have created the database. Now you have to use the database. Once you have the database, right? You have created the database. Now you have to use the database. So next, you can use the database. Use the database. So your database connection is done. Means you have to create your database, right? Now you have to use the database. So write cursor dot execute, and you have to add use. The command is same, use learning MySQL. So any name you can provide, there is no issues. So you can write use learning MySQL and you have to. So current database is learning MySQL. Now I am going to perform that creating the tables, executing the tables, selecting queries, update, deleting all the commands inside this database. So that is the reason first you have to create one database, then you have to use the database. Next, you have to create your table. Okay. Next, I am creating your table. Now, I am going to create my table. Same like cursor dot execute, and I already have this comment, so you can say there is. You can use cursor dot execute, and this is the comment. You can add. Copy this comment and you can add over there. Yes, definitely. I will share this notebook to the description box and you can get each and every code over there. Don't worry about the code. Just take that entire concentration on this demo so you can understand. So you can write cursor.execute, right? And then you have to execute the cell. So your table is created. The table name is employees, right? Your table is created. Now I want to show the table. Okay. So write your show tables comment. Show the tables. So write cursor dot execute and your show tables. Okay. Just write. But you cannot see the table, right? How we can do that? So that is the reason we have to write for I in. You have to create your cursor, right? Cursor. And now you can write print and you can write I. So you can see employees table is created, right? Employees is created. So only one tables I have. Now I can execute other tables also. So then we can understand these two tables are coming or not. So right, you can for the demo, I can use this line of code and I can execute other queries. Now we can execute other tables. Now I am going to execute other table. I'm going to execute, no, I'm going to create one table. One. Like you can use employee one and just delete this thing. So just copy and then customize some line of codes and you can create other tables. Right? So your other table also created. Now you can create the for loop. Okay. Okay, so you have to execute the show tables command, and then you have to execute the cursor, and you can see there is two tables you can connect it, right? So employees and employees one. Okay. Now we have to populate our data over there, right? So in the table, you have to insert the data. So this query, just write the comment over there. Populate your data inside this employees table. Employees have to add. Now, one very good practice before populating the data. So we have to always remember you have to close the cursor and connection when done. So once your every activity is done, na, so you have to close the cursor. That is a good practice. So just write this code and we can close it, and then we can again reinitialize it over there. So it's a good practice. Once your one block of codes, or you can is complete your entire block, entire code, right? Everything you have done. So then you can close the connection. So then it will be it is the best practice that I have followed. So always remember, I'm also right. Listen, always remember to close the cursor and connection when done. So that we have to always remember. So if you write cursor dot close, okay, and also connection con dot close. These two lines you have to write. Okay, so everything is closed over there. Now you can yes, you can write this code entire of my entire at the last of my demo. That is not the issue, but in advance I am showing these things, so you can easily use and you can easily add, because once I have closed the connection, right, then again I have to connect that code, I have to write over there. So write import, this is one, because this block of codes you can grab it easily and one cell. That is the reason everything I am going to use this cell, and that is the reason I already have closed this session. So I am again create the session, and again you can show and I can show you that enter process. That is the reason I can close it. Otherwise, you can close at the end of the entire thing has been done. Then you can close, or you can close in between, and you can once you close that time you have to connect. Again, you have to connect. That you have to remember. So once you close that, again you have to connect that. So that is the reason I have to import that Mysql dot connector. Okay, and all the codes obviously be there, and you can write same thing. Close, and here the new addition is the database. So I have to use the database connectivity over here. So in my case, the database name is learning MySQL. Any name you can provide, so you can add, and then you have to create your cursor is equal to con dot cursor. Okay, and I think I need to write print. My cursor is connect. Cursor is created. My connection is done. My connection is successful. successfully made, and you can also print one thing, that is the type of cursor. How what is the response of type? If I want to create the type of cursor, and this is my import the connector. This is my import of Mysql connector. Okay, and this is my connectivity. This is my Mysql connector. It is a thing, and if you execute this thing, it's open. You can see this is a class of Mysql connector. Okay, if you print the type of your cursor and your connection is made, that is done. And now the time you have to insert some data. So now we can insert some of my data. So here employee data, you have to take employee underscore data, and my data is already there. There is no need to write everything. So I have the data, I have populated the data over there. Just copy it and you have to paste it over here. So the intention is that you have list, employee data is your list. Inside the list, you have to add one by one. Okay. So your ID, I'm not going to add because employee ID is auto increment. So automatically the value will be adding over there, the ID. No need to add the ID. And that is the reason I'm not going to add the ID, and I have to start from the first name. So you can see that first name employees. Just refer to this table. So employee ID, first name, last name, department, DOB, hire date, position, and salary. So everything I am adding over there with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5 records over there, right? So you can also just execute the employee data. So data will be ready. Okay, and we can always check the type. Always check the type of your data that has to be inserted in your table. Okay, and you can write print, you can add type, you can add the employee data over there, and just take out of it. You see the list. So there is no issue, there is a list of then you can add. Okay. So now I am going to use cursor dot execute many. This is one method, execute many, because there are more than 1 or 6 records, more than one records, right? So you have to use the cursor dot execute dot many and insert more records over there. Okay. So just go, already I have the cursor. Just copy it and paste. So cursor dot execute many and will be insert into employees. So your first name, last name, department, DOB, and this is the type values, right? String data type that you have to add. And there is no issue. You can add the employee data. And this is the column name, and this is the values type that you have to add it. And once you have done, then you have to add your list. You have to recognize the list to your insert into the employees this cursor dot execute many, and just execute, and yes, done. And this is the temporary changes over there. And what I'm going to do, I have to commit. Then the change will be committed over there. So you can write cursor dot commit your changes, COMMIT. Yes. So now you can write commit the changes. Commit the changes. Okay. No issue. Okay, it's not the cursor, it should be called that my bad. It's a call. Yeah. Now your connection dot commit means you have to add your commit changes is there. Now is the time to fetch the records because you have inserted the record and just I'm going to add this line. Just a thing. So this is my printer. This is the employees data going to be inserted the employee table, employees table. Okay, just add this line and now everything is ready. Commit your changes. So just add one line. So commit your changes. Okay, that's great. You have to commit your changes, and now the time that you have to fetch the records. Fetch all the records. Fetch all the records. So that execute your select query, execute your select query. Okay. So cursor dot execute and you have to select. There is syntax is same for MySQL. Just my intention how to write from the Python, right? So let's start from employees. So just execute that. Now fetch the records. Fetch all the records. Okay, and that's in my case records, and then you can write cursor dot fetch all, and I hope the records is there, and now we can see the type of records. That is very pretty simple thing. Just write type over there and records. Okay, so list, that's very great. And you have to print your record. The last statement that you print your records. Then it will be displayed in your console, right? For record, the iterator in objects, the list, it can be easily iterated in the list. This is my list. Yeah. And then you have to print your record. How many records, how many record we have inserted? That will be showing. And then execute, and you can see 5 records has been inserted, and we have successfully done this thing. And you can see I'm not adding the employee ID, but still it is showing because the employee is auto increment. Then no need to add the employee ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any questions as of now? Okay. Now there's some kind of tricks over there. So all the records are coming. Now I'm interested to see those records. I want to display the records whose designation, or you can see the is data scientist designation, or what adding this position. Position is data scientist. Okay, that record I want to show. Mhm. So you can write this thing. So you can close the connection, you can re-establish the connection, that's not the issue. Best practice, you can close and then you can start. Otherwise, you can also create a query. Create a query for for those for display those records whose position is data scientist. You can write this thing, so you can write cursor dot execute. Okay. Command is same. There is no changes in comments. Like star from employees where right where position, for position is my column name. So you can see I have added it in the position, right? So that is the reason I've added the position, where position is equal to what your data scientist. Then copy and you have to add it, execute the cell, no issue, that cell is executed, and that you have to record one or record one is equal to what, cursor dot fetch all or fetch all the records, fetch all the records, just yeah, and then we can just write a comment. So fetch all the records for that particular query, for that particular query. Okay, and display the records. Display the records over here. So you can write for record in record one, and you can print the record. And you can see that only the data scientist position only showing, not all the records. So that is very pretty easy thing that you can add in over there. So in this way we can fetch the records, and now we can show how you have to update the records, right? I am right. Update the records. How we can show update the records. So like I want to change the first name of Asteria, right? So we can write update the records. So you can update the record. You can write. So cursor dot execute. Okay, and you can write update employees set first name, first underscore name is equal to like team, team. I have to set the first name where last or you can yes, or you can do your salary or you can change anything. But last name that query I also forgot this that last name is equal to value we can say and you have to commit the changes. Yeah, changes is done. Now I have to display the record. So display the records. You have to write cursor dot execute and then write select. I can start from employees, or you can also execute the first cell. That's not an issue. Or you can write fetch the records. Okay, write records. This you can do your cursor dot fetch all, and you can print the record. Print the record like for record in records. For see what happened, and yes, you can see that last name is this name is changed where last name is Patre, right? Rocking Patre is right. So you can update. We can also update one thing. Just update the records once other on another query of update records. Just copy this thing and change the sign. You can also make some changes where your salary equal to 5,000 or 50,000 where employee ID is EMP ID is equal to 4, right 4. Just execute and commit your changes. That is a very good practice. When changes is done, execute this cell and yes, you can see the values change. The employee ID is 4. This is the slip ID. Okay, and you can update your records. Again, I'm going to write the one query over there. And also write cursor dot execute, 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 and you can write start from employees can try this thing. Int search dot fetch. No, that is one issue that's showing. Okay, it's my bad. 1 minute. Now this is the comment, so you have to fetch one, but still the issues are showing. So I have to establish the session. So just do one thing. You have to execute this cell, and I hope the issue will be not there. Let's try. Yes, so that is the issue from the session. The session was expired over there. So you can write the print statement of your count of employees and the file records are coming. That's very pretty easy. These things then you can write cursor.fetch one and your zero objects. The zero position, the value will coming, right? So you can count of employees also be coming. The queries are same. So you can experiment as much as you can that not the issues. Now last query that for the delete, obviously the delete statement that I'm going to add. So you can write delete your records. You have to update your records and then you can delete your records. So you can delete your records. Delete your records. Okay. Just one thing. Okay. Yes. So you can delete your records. Yes, yes, you can write any queries, so let me know. Otherwise, I can start the delete query. One line of code. This is not very big deal. Like you write cursor query cursor dot execute and you can add delete from employees. Okay, where empid that is your file, and you can commit just execute the cell, your commit is done, and you can execute this above cell. So one record will not be showing. You can see 4 records are coming. That means the last record has been deleted. And also you can take the count out of it and you can execute. Then you can see 4 records. So as of now, we are all good to know how we can add you can update, you can delete your record, you can create your database that the summary and I can add. So you can create your database, you can create your table, you can insert the data, you can update, you can delete all the records from there, and that's all from my side. And also, if you have any queries, so please let me know, so we can definitely address your concern. So, but before I'll just wait 1 or 2 seconds, then we can close the session. And then if you have any queries, so please let me know. I'm just waiting for 1 or 2 minutes more, so we can address your concern. And one more thing that once you're done, please close the session. So close the session. Uh, if you've done everything, and it's the good practice, and it is the good practice that you follow. Good practice that you have to follow. So on cursor dot close, and you write to, and also con dot close, that is true, obviously be there. Okay, so that means my session and my cursor that has I already closed that. And I'm writing the good practice of creating the structure wise code, right? So good practice of creating structured code. So block, we have to maintain some block over there. So I already have this block. I just have to import this thing. Just copy. Okay. So you just check out of this thing. So first, I'm not going to execute this thing. Just want to show how we can create the blocks and what is the standard way that we can write. So first, you have to import your query, and before writing that this line, right? Just have to copy this line. Just a minute. Just this is your connection, right? Everything is there, but I have to add some structure over there. I have to add some style over there. This you can say this modularized this thing. So it can be good practice for your next projects. So here I'm writing the con connect, right? And this is the DB. So I create the objects over there. Everything is there. You can see host, database, user, password. There is nothing new things inside there. Everything is the same, but you have to structure this way. Okay. So that is the reason I have to add this line, and I have to show that how you can connect. So before, without writing this kind of things, you can create your db underscore config, and once your db underscore config is done, now you have to use the try catch, and obviously the final inside the try catch and finally block, you can separate your that lines of code as per the try catch and block, right? Like try, you have to use the connection. If your connection is connected, then you have to create your cursor object to execute the SQL queries. Query that is going over there, you can add your query as per your choice, as per your business use case, you can add your queries. Then you can execute your query, then like count of employees, right? So I have to show that how many employees in that employees table, the records, right? So that is my count of employees, and you have to accept, and finally you can close the session. And I have not written new things. I just restructure this module so it can be your structured format. It is your standardized format that you have to maintain, and that is the reason I have shared with you. Okay. If you like the session, please subscribe my channel. If you have any doubts, so please let me know any doubts, any queries, so I can address definitely your doubts. So please subscribe my channel, and in this way we can grow and learn together. You can also share your thoughts that can be added in my code. Share your feedback. Everything is welcome to me, and I can also learn. I can also share with you. So please subscribe my channel, and thanks for joining the session. If you have any queries, again, I'm saying that you can add your concern in your comment box, and I can definitely address your concern. And the code, everything I will add the description box. The GitHub link will be there. In my GitHub link, everything is there. So please go and download it and practice it at your end. You have to add more queries, you have to add many things over there. So please go and practice with the Python and Google Colab environment. If you have any doubts, so please let me know. If you have any other stuff you require, so you can let me know. Thank you for joining the session. Thanks for joining the session. Thank you. And please subscribe my channel. That's my request. And in this way, you can learn and grow together. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.